just get started.
Okay, so my name is Rafael. I've been working in the tech space for about 5 years now. I'm a technical trainer with a company called Utiva. Utiva has a branch in the UK, they are in Africa, and here in the US. So I work during the day. I work during the day as a cloud engineer, and work weekends I do trainings like this. Okay, Saturdays and Sunday with Utiva. So today I'm going to be telling you why I love Cosmos DB so much. Okay, so I have this very liking for Cosmos DB. I love Cosmos DB because I got to a point in my career, I was actually trying to start a bank, okay? Start an online bank using, you know that kind of online bank you can do, everything is in the cloud. So I discovered that Cosmos DB is that can make that possible. But it's just that I got the idea too late. I started too late because someone else had already started it. So I'm going to be telling you all about that during the lecture, and I'm going to be showing you in case you want like that, in case you want to do something similar, so that you know how to get started. Yes. So I'm quickly going to share my slides so that we can. I'm quickly going to share my slides so that we can start. Network. Hello, Suraj. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I thought my network was there. Okay, so I'm going to share my slide. Just give me a minute. Share content. Okay, so we're using this. So I've shared my slides. Let me go. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to be talking about Cosmos DB. Okay, what is Cosmos DB? Okay, so before now, yeah, so I'll just go globally distributed. Okay, when they say it's globally distributed, it means that the possibility for you to start, okay, I don't know where you're watching this video from. Okay, maybe you're watching from India, or maybe you're watching from the UK. Okay, so assuming that you want to start a business, okay, and you are in the UK, or you are just give me a minute. So assuming you want to start a business, okay, you are in India, for example, and you want to get across to people Cosmos DB is that one Azure service that can make that happen because it's globally distributed. Okay, so it's delivered as platform as a service. So does anyone remember what platform as a service is? Does anyone want to tell me what is platform as a service? If you please let me know quickly in the chat window. If you remember what is platform as a service, let me know quickly. Okay, so no one is talking. Can you guys understand me? Okay, so platform as a service, okay, Microsoft is saying that, okay, you are a deliver, okay, Microsoft is saying that, okay, you are, you know what, you know what you are a developer, you know how to code best, okay, so Microsoft is giving you all the tools, say, come to us, we'll take care of the infrastructure. Yes, thank you very much, Menua, okay, yes, so for platform as a service, Microsoft is saying, okay, come to our platform. We're going to take care of it for you. We're going to do all the background stuff for you. Just come and do what you do best. Focus. So that's what platform as a service is doing. So Azure Cosmos DB is a globally distributed. I like that word. earlier, you can be in wherever you are. You can start a business from there, and it will go across the whole world. That's how powerful this database is. Okay, it's JSON based because it's a document database. Okay, remember we have relational databases. Okay, and there is non-relational databases. Okay, we have two classes of databases, guys. Okay, non-relational and relational. So this one is non-relational, means it has got nothing to do with SQL. Okay, it has got nothing to do with SQL. It is document based, JSON based. Okay, meaning what this does for you, it gives you a lot of flexibility as a developer. So okay, so now from the definition, we're picking some few things. It's globally distributed, it's document JSON based, okay, and it's platform as a service. So three powerful combinations in one. Okay, so it allows you as a developer to build and distribute your application across Azure data center automatically without anything. Okay, so that's why I like it so much. Okay, so you can do something. Assuming I'm in Kenya, I can start a business in Kenya, and if I can distribute it all around the world. So that's how powerful Cosmos DB is. So let's move forward. So so let's look at the positive sides of Cosmos DB. What can Cosmos DB do for you? One of them, so Cosmos DB can help you develop your applications very fast, because assuming that you prefer using Postgres, for example, you prefer using MongoDB, for example, you prefer using Apache Cassandra. Okay, so now on the surface, what you're going to see is Cosmos DB, but the underlying mechanism is going to be that database engine that you love so much. Okay, so each person definitely has a reason why they want to use their preferred data. Don't worry. Oh, you love Apache Cassandra so much. Don't worry, just come. Okay, you love Postgres so much. Don't worry, just come. So with Cosmos DB, you have that flexibility database engine that you've always used. Okay, and you will still get that beauty of, you still get the benefit of the engine that you love so much, and you still get the benefit of. So yes, like you can see from the screen, okay, it provides automatic scalability. Okay, so it means that if traffic is high, okay, your traffic application to a certain place and the traffic is so overwhelming, okay, there will be additional instances of your database would be configured so that you can handle the workload. That's what scalability just means. So it has everything that you do in Cosmos DB is secured by default, and the good thing about it is you pay as you use. Okay, so these are some of the plus points why I love Cosmos DB so much. Okay, so let's move. So some of the benefits, some other benefits of why you want to use Cosmos DB. Okay, so one of them is elastic writes and read. Okay, so it can scale writes, it can scale read. I mean, you have the, so many things. Okay, unlimited elastic write and read. So you have 99.99 reads and write availability all around the world. That is so much. You have a guarantee that, okay, you have so much guarantee for your reads and writes. Okay, who are, okay, so for read, meaning that you'll be able to view the document, you'll be able to view the information that the application is given to you. Okay, but for write means you can you can add, you can edit. That's what write means. You can do something. So you're getting 99.999. The guarantee is so high. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are feeling I don't know if you guys are feeling the passion I have for okay. So but let's continue. So you have that read and write we're talking about. See, 10 millisecond. Okay, 10 millisecond, meaning that if you make an update, it's so fast, so fast, it will be updated. So that kind of guarantee, it's not available in other databases. So Azure Cosmos DB is, guys, Azure Cosmos DB is, it's so good, okay? Because let's continue. So your application can have real-time reads and writes, okay? Real-time reads and writes, meaning that, assuming that you're in India, okay, you US, okay, you have customers in the US, you make an update, they will almost see it the same minute you put it. It's so powerful, okay? Azure Cosmos DB internally handles data replication between guarantees, okay? So we're going to be talking a little bit about consistency in the next slide. Okay, so I'm sure that at one point or the other, you've been wondering, because the time differences between, let's say, for example, Africa, okay? The time difference between Africa and wherever you're watching from is different, okay? But you have noticed that maybe at some certain point, you had a friend, okay? You had a friend, and he updated his Facebook status, for example, okay? Your friend stays in a friends, he updated his Facebook status, and you saw that message immediately. Okay, so that kind of thing didn't just happen. It happened because of technologies like in the database world, we call that ability consistency. Okay. We have consistency. So assuming that you stay in America, for example, you updated your Facebook status, okay, someone that stays in Nigeria with a time difference of maybe 7, it means that there is strong consistency, okay? There is strong consistency. So Cosmos DB gives you this concept of consistency, okay? You send to people to be able to see it immediately, okay? That is strong, okay? So you send something immediately, and it takes some time, okay? It will eventually go, but it takes some time before they eventually see it. That is weak consistency. So one thing, if you choose a higher consistency, meaning that you're going to make your application highly available. So does anyone remember what higher? Let's make this a little bit interactive so that it's not only me that's talking. So who remembers what high availability means? Okay, so let me explain what high availability. So, or when you say something is highly available, meaning that, okay, in case of disruption, okay, in case there is maybe electricity failures, there is the whole data center goes down, the application that you're serving your customers still gets to run, okay? You do not disappoint your customer. The application runs, everything still goes on the way it should go. That is what the concept of high availability is all about, okay? So in Cosmos DB, we have this, on one side, we have strong consistency. If you choose strong consistency, meaning that you're going to be highly available, on weak eventual consistency, eventual, as the word goes, eventual, okay, meaning that the document you're trying to send, okay, the thing that you're going to database, it will work, okay, but not immediately. But there is some certain level of guarantee that it will eventually be pushed or kicked to one side is strong, okay, with a better availability option. The extreme, you have weak, okay, but with higher throughput. So you're trading throughput for higher availability, so whichever way. So I hope that you guys are clear with this. So let's move to the other side. But to be honest with you, the more, if you're preparing to take AZ204, you'll go deeper into for or DP 420, you'll go deeper into all this, but the basic concept is what I've just told you about. So let's move on. Okay, so DB, okay, you pay for throughput when you provision your storage. Okay, so I like to tell you one thing, okay? Throughput must be provisioned to ensure sufficient resources are available at all times. So now, in real life, pounds and dollars, okay, but in the world of databases, okay, we're not spending pounds and dollars, we're not spending rupees, we're spending what they call request units. So for everything that using the database, you're actually spending request units. Okay, so a request unit represents a system resource such as CPU. If you're taking a certain amount, if you're making a read operation into a database, you're spending a request unit. So if you're inserting something in the database, it will cost you a request unit as well. If you're deleting, if you're querying, so in the language database world, okay, so request unit is the currency. So you value whatever you're doing, the cost of whatever operation you do in your database is represented with request unit. So I hope that is clear. But before I continue, so that it's not only me that is talking, if you have any question, please do let me know so that I'll address it immediately. Okay, so I'm assuming that there are no questions, so I'm going to continue. But before we go on, okay, so I'd like you to know that I said this earlier at the beginning. Okay, so I have a passion and love for Cosmos DB because Cosmos DB is that one database. That if you want to do a business, okay, maybe you've developed an application. Okay, you don't want the application to stay. You don't want only customers from India. The world. You want customers from the UK, you want customers from Africa, you want customers from the United States, you want customers from Australia. So that one database that can make it happen is Cosmos DB because it's globally distributed. Okay, and the little things we've just seen just now. Okay, we talked about the concept of consistency, meaning that if you post something in the database, okay, posting something in the database will involve certain operation, reads and write. I told you what read is. Read meaning you can read something literally. Write means you want to add something to the database. Okay, so you have 99.999%, okay, guarantee from Microsoft that whatever that you're doing is going to go through. Okay, this database is powerful. Okay, I don't know how to explain to you guys, but it's powerful. Okay, so let's continue with. So up to this place, we've just I've tried to up to this place. Okay, so whatever you're doing in the database, okay, you use you do anything will cost you money. Okay, so assuming that you go to the supermarket, anything you're buying will cost you money definitely. So in real life, you're spending money on the things that you're buying, but in the database world, you're spending request units. So request unit is the currency. So you're using anything, using memory, using CPU, you're using IOPS request units. So I hope that this part is clear. So let's move on. Yes. So we've talked about the fundamentals. I've made you to understand why I love Cosmos DB so much. I think I've told you the other parts, okay, the benefits and all that. So now let's look at the architecture of a Cosmos DB database. Okay. Now remember that if you want to use Microsoft Cloud, you first of all need to sign up for a subscription. Okay, so now what does a subscription do for you? Remember that if you want to go rent a new accommodation, you want to go rent a house, the first thing you need to do is to pay your rent. So in the world of a cloud, your rent is your subscription. So let's assume that you've paid your rent. Okay, you've paid your rent, you get access to the apartment. Okay, to the apartment, for example. Okay, so now you have an account. Okay, so guys, don't get confused. I'm renting of a house with Yeah, with getting a subscription in the cloud. Okay, so if you pay a subscription, you're going to have an account. Okay, so when you have an account, you can do anything with it. You can go even create, then you can go create a Cosmos DB account because you have access to the Microsoft cloud already. Okay, so now, so a Cosmos DB account is the fundamental unit of global scalability and high availability. So I think I explained to you what a high availability means. High availability means that you even if a disaster happens, okay, God forbid, if a flood happens or a tsunami happens, your application still gets to run, okay, still gets to run because you've made it highly available. So Cosmos DB account is that fundamental unit of global distribution. Okay, I told you what global distribution means again, but if in case you don't understand what global distribution means, it means that for your application to be distributed in all regions of the world. Okay, global as the word connotes. Okay, so your customer a unique IP address, okay, DNS name that you can use to manage your account. You can manage your Cosmos DB account using Azure portal. So we're gonna be doing a demo. Do this with your CLI, okay, or you can use language-specific software development kits. Okay, so if you have the Cosmos DB account, okay, you're gonna have a database. So look at the hierarchy. We have the Cosmos DB account, we have database, we have container before you have the documents that you're going to work on. Okay, so the hierarchy is Cosmos DB account, database, container, then the items that you're updating. So I hope that this is clear. So let's move. So now at this point, we're going to go to Azure portal. So give me a few minutes. So give me a few minutes to open my my Azure portal so we can something. Okay. So we can create a Cosmos DB. Yeah. So we in the slides. Okay. In the slides I have MongoDB, but we can create for SQL. We can create for MongoDB, whichever one. But the interesting part, just give me a few minutes. My open. I'm going to open my browser and we'll do a demo. Just give me a few minutes. So portal. So if you have if you are in front of your computer, that's if you have if you have an Azure account, it's portal.azure.com. So I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a few minutes. I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm going to share my Azure portal account. So a few takeaways from what Cosmos DB is a document database. Okay, it's NoSQL. So you have SQL and NoSQL. Okay, so SQL is SQL. Relational database. Okay, so MongoDB is non-relational. Okay, so one of the beauties of yes, please ask. Yeah, someone's hand is raised up, so ask your question. Yeah, maybe we'll answer a few questions before we move forward. Yes, ask your question. Yeah, yes. Ask your question. The guy that has his hand raised up. Okay, someone's hand is raised up. Can mute him because so that he can. So unmute yourself and speak. Arogundade, yeah, Arogundade, please, yeah, I'll speak. Asura raised up. I think he wants to ask a question. Can you help me unmute him so that he can ask his question?
Sure. Yes, I have given him the access.
Okay, so so please ask a question. If I don't hear from you in the next 1 minute, I'm going to continue. So,
Hello, good morning.
okay, so yes, good
Good morning.
morning.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, my name is Aruf Lawal. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your efforts. I really understand. So I just want to ask some certain questions, sir. Please, number one, where can we really learn more about this what's it called, Cosmos DB? That's number one. Then secondly, what is the
Okay.
difference between this Cosmos DB and using Mongo what's it called? MongoDB, yeah.
If you want to learn more, you got to subscribe to the community channel. I think Suraj already sent the link to Suraj already sent the
Okay.
link to the discussion window. So, or you can follow me on Twitter, or yeah, follow me on Twitter, or follow Azure Nigeria community, because we have a long series. We're going to be having a long series on this database. So I'm going to be preparing people for a DP420. DP420 is a certification just for Cosmos DB. So the very first lesson of DP420 is an introduction, which is exactly what you're getting now. Follow
Okay.
the
Thank you
community
very much.
channel. So Raj has posted it. Or follow Azure Nigeria community if we have any other thing. So who else has a question? Please ask so that we can.
Okay, my second question is the difference between MongoDB and this Cosmos DB.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I want to tell you something. Okay. Normally, okay, SQL. SQL is a relational database. Okay. Now, on the other side, you have non-relational database. Okay. So now, MongoDB falls under the category of non-relational database. Yeah, Apache Cassandra falls. So Cosmos DB is the same thing. It's that same category. But the good thing about Cosmos DB is this, okay? Very large-hearted. Okay, Microsoft is saying that you love Cosmos DB. Okay, no. Microsoft is saying that you love MongoDB, you love Apache Cassandra. Don't go away. Come, we have something for you. So on the surface, okay, what Cosmos DB, but the underlying engine. So you are definitely using MongoDB because you love the engine. You love how it works in the hood. Cosmos DB gives you that flexibility. Oh man, you love Apache Cassandra so much. You love MongoDB so much. Don't go away. Even though you are using Cosmos DB, you can choose for, yeah, you can choose the API for that thing that you love so much. So on the surface is Cosmos DB, but underneath, behind the hood, it's going to much. So I hope that you understand it. I hope I answered your question. So in Cosmos DB is in the same brothers and sisters with MongoDB and other relational database. That's just it. But it's just that hearted, they want everyone to come, and use. So if you say, okay, you love Postgres so much, then you choose Postgres API. So on the surface, it's going to be Cosmos DB, but underlining mechanism is going to be that engine that you love so much. Yeah. So let's continue. You know that the first thing you do when working with the cloud is to search. Okay, so let's say you want to work with Cosmos DB. The first thing you're going to do is to search for. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Cosmos DB. Yes. So you know that if you do a search, the one that you're searching for will always be choose it. Okay, so we're going to create a Cosmos DB account. So remember what I told you, the account first, database second, containers then. So that's the hierarchy. So the first thing, you need to create a Cosmos DB account. So I'm going to create by clicking this. He was trying to ask. Okay, I think his name is Arongu Dade Lawal. I can't remember, but this was a question you were trying to ask. You can see that Cosmos DB is giving you that flexibility. So, I think this is the most recommended. The recommended one would be Azure Cosmos DB API. The MongoDB one. So assuming that you say you love you love Azure DB for 10, you love Gremlin so much, okay, you don't want to leave Gremlin, but you can use the API. So if you choose the Gremlin API, on the surface, it's underlying mechanism is that API that you chose, okay, Gremlin API. So assuming that you say, okay, I love Postgres so much, on the surface it's going to be Cosmos DB, but the underlying mechanism is going to be Postgres. So for this one, for this demo, let's, as the benefit of that our brother that asked that question, I'm going to click on, I'm going to choose MongoDB. Okay, so even my demo has MongoDB on it, so it's fine. To use MongoDB API. So the first thing we need is our subscription. Okay, so let's create a resource group, demo. Okay, so I've created a resource group. Okay, so you're gonna give your account a name. Let's say demo Mongo. So I like using US East US. Okay, so the names must be globally unique. So you must use a name that no one has used before. Okay, so I'm not going to use provision throughput. I'm going to use serverless. Okay, so you can see that we can leave. Oh yeah, we were talking about global distribution. So assuming that you want it to be globally available, you can enable global distribution. Okay, so global distribution is one of the Cosmos DB. So it's one of the key selling points of Cosmos DB. It's one of the reasons this is working so good for Microsoft, because you can, get almost 99.99% reads and write across data centers of the world. Okay, so I think I'm just going to review and create. I'm just going to go straight to review and create. So it's saying that we have about 2 minutes for the creation. That is, I think the reason might be because we chose global distribution. So I think I'm going to because when you choose global distribution, meaning that whatever you're doing is going to be replicated globally. So let's hope the time creation reduces. Okay, still showing 2 minutes. So it's fine. So I'm going to create. So creating is going to take a while. Creating is going to take a while. So if you have has a question, please do ask. Yes, your hand is up again. Arogundade, please, your hand is up again. Please ask. Okay, so deployment is in progress. And as you can see from the screen, everything is super secure because, yes, the operation you want. Okay, so I want to give you a real life example of a company that I feel is using this database. Okay, so let me open their website for you. Remember at the beginning, I actually wanted to start an online bank. Okay, I actually wanted to start an online. No, not an online. I actually wanted to start a bank. Okay, for that bank. Remember that for a bank, a lot of read-write operations will come into place. Okay, so I was actually thinking of Cosmos DB. Then I had this mentor of mine. He told me, "Dude, you're late. You're late." He told me about a company that had already started something similar. So let me tell you a good thing about this company. This company is in the UK, is in Nigeria, is in Ghana, is in Cameroon. Oh, guess what? They only have one office. Okay, so now I don't know. I don't know where you're watching this from. I don't know if you are. I don't know if you're from Kenya, you're from India, okay. But currently, I'm in Africa, okay. So the banks here in Africa, the popular banks, they have branches in a, they have buildings in every city, okay. But guess what? Guess what? This bank that I'm telling you about, they only have one branch. And that branch, guess what they do there? They use that branch as a fulfillment center. So assuming that you want to get your ATM card, okay, your ATM card needs to get posted, okay. The logistics for just what they use that office for. But this bank, it's everywhere, okay. It's so popular here in Africa, and they use the cloud for everything. So because the database was spinning up, it's still spinning. I'm going to open their website so that you see, okay. Let me the name Kuda Community Bank. Kuda Bank. So I'm hoping that you are seeing my screen. Is anyone seeing my screen? Yes, I guess. Okay. A little bit slow, but it's loading. Okay, so the database is still it's complete. So I'm just gonna go because it's running fast. So okay, so this is the bank I was trying to tell you about that I believe uses this database for their business. Okay, so let me try again. Kuda. Okay, good. Okay, so this is the bank. Okay, they have branch. It's crazy. You can see that they have a branch in the UK. They have I'm trying to find okay, you can see that they are global. They have in the UK, they have in Africa, they have two coming up. To achieve this, okay, they've been able to achieve this without building any infrastructure. They don't build buildings, okay. They don't build buildings, and they have only one office. They use that office for distributing your cards, your ATM card. So okay, Cosmos DB is really good. Okay, so now if you're following me with the demo, I'd like you to okay. So Data Explorer, click on Data Explorer. Following the demo, once your database, search for Cosmos DB in your search bar. Search for Cosmos DB, and once you create an account, okay, create an account because we saw that the basic unit of scalability in Cosmos DB is your account. So create an account. Yeah, sorry, let me close this. New collection. Okay, because remember that you created an account. Okay, so I'm going to call this demo DB. Okay. Okay, so we have demo DB. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do for demo DB, I'm going to create a new collection from demo DB. Okay, so here we're going to give it an ID. Let's say customer data. Okay, so we're gonna go. We're gonna choose default for every other thing. So the only thing we added was a collection ID. So I called it customer data, or maybe yeah. So let's take everything as default. I'm gonna click OK. So let's wait for it to load. Oh, sorry, this is not supposed to show up. Give me a minute. I want us to be faster. I've written a little. Okay, I can't find it. Okay, so let's continue. Close this. So we've created a collection called customer data. Okay, so I'm going to create a document and this. Okay, so you see that when we create, guys, I don't know if you're following what I just did. Number one, the first thing I did was I searched Azure portal. Okay, I searched Azure portal for Cosmos DB. It came out. Okay, so I created an account. Remember in the slides, I explained that the basic unit for global distribution and availability in Cosmos DB is for you to have an account. So the first thing, you need to have an account. Okay, so you search for it, you create an account. The next thing that followed, we have a database. Okay, so I had the option of choosing what I wanted, the database. So I decided, I click on database and okay, so after the database, the next thing was documents. So when you have the documents, it means that you're ready to update items in the database already. So it's so simple. It's not a walk in the park. It's not difficult. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, so now the document has opened. Guys, I don't know if you guys are understanding me, but let's assume that, okay, let's assume that we want to start a bank. Let's assume that we want to start a bank right now. Okay, so a new customer comes. Okay, create an account for that customer to hold that customer details. This is how we're going to do it. Okay, so we've created a database. We say it's customer data. We want to start filling that that place with items. Okay, so we're going to click new document. Okay, so I've clicked on new document. Let's wait for it. Hold on, give me a minute. It's loading. Okay, so guys, so when I click on new document, look at what came out. Okay, so it's in JSON, which is JavaScript object notation language. Okay, and okay, it's meaning key value pair mean you have okay. A good example of key value pair. What is your name, for example? My name is Raphael. So the key is name, the value is Raphael. Give this, assuming that a customer is coming to the bank. Let's say the key will be name. Okay. The customer's name will give it a real name. Okay. Remember, we're creating a database, so let's add another item to it. Okay, so let's add another item to it. So what other thing can we add for the cost? I think this. Okay, so let's say the sex. Okay, sex of the customer. Let's say the customer is male. This has to be in quotes. Is this showing? Okay, I'll just reference my slide a little bit. Okay, so before I continue along, you can have a peek at it. Okay, so just give me a minute. There's something in the chat window, so I'm going to show you my slide so that we'll go from there. So I've dropped the steps in my slide. This was what we did. Okay, after creating the account. So after creating the account, we created Data Explorer. Okay, this was for another API, but yeah, we chose container and we gave it a name and we added collections to it. So, okay, I'm showing the slide in case of those that will be watching from a video later on, so they can pause and follow along. Okay, so this is where we are now. We are creating it in our DB. It's going to show us new document, not new item. Okay, so this is this is the step where we are in now. I'm trying to give the document a structure. Okay, so using something exactly like this. So you see that the first thing is, like in my own case, it was a name. Okay, name. I gave it my name. Okay. The next one was sex. Okay. So I'm going to add all this to it so that I will save and add another one. So let's go back. Let me share my. Okay. Let me continue to share. I don't know, what are you guys seeing? Okay, hold on. Let me go back to team. Stop sharing this. Share Azure Cosmos DB. Okay, so this is where we are. So we have our first item, the name. Okay, the name. Yeah, I should have a comma. This matter. Okay, so the next one. Let's say type of account. Let's say type of account type. Input, let's say savings. Okay, another one. Okay, I don't know why this and let's say I think I'm going to stop that one. So next thing I'm going to add is description, new account, description, new account. And put colon. Everything has to be in colon. So description will be new accounts. Okay, so new accounts. Final item. Okay, so the reason why this is showing red, I didn't put it in quotes, so everything is okay now. The final item. Okay, so this description. Final item. I'm going to add will be is complete. Put is complete. Okay, so I'm going to put colon false. If you noticed, guys, if you noticed, everything here is in key and value pair. Okay, key and value. So in JavaScript object notation, okay, sorry for the little interruption. So as I was saying, everything has to be in bracket. Everything inside the bracket has to be key and value. Okay, so note has a comma, but the last item, the final one, does not have a comma. Okay, so we finished saving the very first item in our Cosmos. So let's click on save. You can see that it has appeared. If you look at it, has appeared, okay, on this side. So assuming I want to add another thing to the document, I just need to click. So new. So I've clicked on new document, and all I just need to, let's assume that this is a new customer. Okay, so the first customer was Raphael. Let's say the second customer was Jackson. Okay, Jack. Okay, he's a male as well. He's also doing a service account. So we're gonna save it. You can see that it has appeared. So let's assume that we have another customer. Okay, but this time around is a female. So we're gonna create another new document. Okay, so we're gonna change her name. Let's assuming her name is let's say Faith. Okay, she's female, so we change this to female. Okay, we just need to save, and you can see that our document has a structure to it as possible. So this is how Cosmos DB works. So we've saved it. We have a document already. I think, guys, yes, that's how you create a document in we use the Cosmos DB interface, okay, to create this document. But the underlying mechanism is the way it's going to work under the hood will be MongoDB. So I hope that you understand. I hope that you've gotten a brief. I hope that I've been able to pass the knowledge about. I hope I've made you a Cosmos DB, okay, and the fact that it's a document database. Okay, let me tell you one of my coolest thing about document database. Okay, they do not have structure, meaning that you can come and put in whatever you want to suit. Would use okay, some people are asking some questions. Do you specify the data type? I didn't specify. This was just a demo, but I can specify because it is not structured. Okay, it's not. You're not using. You're actually not using SQL. Okay, SQL has strict rules and structures. Okay, but this is NoSQL, okay, and it's document. So you can bring in whatever you want to bring in. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so I hope that I've been able to answer the question of Samuel Ugboaja. Okay, I hope I've been able to answer your question. Let me see if there's another question here before I go off. But basically, okay, yes, that's right, Yasin. So basically, my purpose is to give you. I've been able to give you a brief overview of Cosmos DB and why you should use it. Okay, so I think I'm done with my demo. Okay, so I'm going to Yeah, so I'm done with my demo. So before I go off, I have two questions from the slide. So I'm going to share my slide. So these are the questions in my slide. Okay. So if anyone wants to answer, you can answer. So when setting up, when I was setting up the CosmosDB account, we were greeted with two options. Okay. What options were they? Can you see my, what are you guys saying? Okay, so we're greeted with two options. What options were there? Okay, so if anyone wants to answer, I'll give you the opportunity to answer quickly. If you're not going to answer, I'm going to give you insert a video in the database. This is basically a document database, okay? But yes, you need to create an account first. Okay, guys, so when we're creating the database, we had the option of choosing throughput and serverless, okay? So I decided to choose serverless, okay? So let me look at the last question in the slide. So the question is saying that which consistency level offers the highest throughput? Does anyone want to answer it? I showed you, I think about 5 or 6 consistency level. On the extreme, I showed you the first one, strong consistency, and on the other side, I showed you eventual consistency. So I talked to you about the fact that someone in the US will create, will update his Facebook, and you in Africa with a different time zone will see it immediately. So someone has answered Yasin. Yasin, thank you very much. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, you know that if you're choosing strong consistency, you're trading away throughput for high availability. Okay, so thank you guys. We've come to the end of this lecture, and I hope that I'll be able to see you in any other one that we're going to do again. Suraj?
Hey,
Hello,
thanks for
Suraj.
the great session. And if there is any other question from the attendees, we can have that. If you guys have any other questions, you can drop it in the chat box. We can uh, clear it off right away. So yeah, and the recording will be uploaded in our YouTube channel, and the certificate of participation will be distributed to all the people who have filled the attendance form. And I hope everyone of you here is to be looking to be learning new things, getting training. So if you're somebody like that, then make sure you join our community. I have shared it in the chat box. We'll be constantly having these kind of events, trainings, challenges in the upcoming months. So yeah, and I guess there is no other questions. So thank you again for Rafael for this wonderful session, and looking forward to having you in the upcoming sessions as well. Thank you.
Bye.